Hi there. In today's video, I want to cover one of the most common mistakes that I see from owners of training gym when they're trying to create a great culture and be a great leader for the people on their team. I want to start by acknowledging leadership is a really big topic, and there are lots of things we can and should talk about. And there are many things I could share that I think I've seen get in people's way, but I want to give you a really quick actionable tip today. And this sounds so small and so silly, but it's so important. And that is, as the leader, a large part of your job is catching people doing things right. You want to be constantly looking for the things your team members are doing well, and you want to be giving them specific positive feedback, ideally in the way that they most prefer to receive that, because that will be a little bit individual. Now, understand, part of your job as a leader and as a manager, if you're looking to create a culture with very high standards, is catch individuals every time they veer away from the standards, from the systems. Because of course, people are just human. Odds are even your most well-intentioned, amazing team members are gonna make mistakes from time to time, and we do need to inspect what we expect. So part of the role of the manager, of course, is to provide directive feedback, to provide constructive criticism at times if the individual is not performing up to the standards that you have set. A challenge that you can run into is if mentally you get in a weird mindset with people on your team and you're always catching doing things wrong and you find yourself constantly feeling frustrated with your team members, it's possible a couple things are going on there. Now, sometimes it's possible that, frankly, you haven't done a great job of training them, so they're not performing well, but it's largely on you. Sometimes it's not the right person. Maybe this individual really isn't capable of performing at the level you want, in which case the only humane thing to do, by the way, is to think about sending them out into the universe to find another opportunity that's a better fit for their skill set. However, what I find to be the case more often than not is that these individuals are actually doing a pretty decent job most of the time, but we have not been doing a good job of looking for the things they're doing right. So just as I think personally, internally, we need to develop gratitude practices to train our mind to look at the things going well, because our mind is designed to look at the things going wrong. As the leader and the owner, you need to train yourself and be disciplined about looking for the things your team members are doing correctly. Because here's the thing to understand. If you have a team member that is wildly incompetent and needs to be fired, they're still probably doing things right maybe 90% of the time. Now, I'm kind of making up these numbers here, but understand 90% of the time is still very bad, because let's say they do, 30 things in a day. If they're messing up 3 times per day, well, you probably need to train them, or maybe you do need to fire them, right? So, and that's if somebody is wildly incompetent. But your highest performing team members are going to be doing things right 99.5% of the time, or maybe once or twice a month they mess something up. Now, here's the challenge. You do need to catch them and bring it to their awareness every time they veer away from those standards or make a mistake. You want to support them in consistently performing at a high level. But if you haven't put capital into that relationship piggy bank, if you have not been catching them doing things right, if they don't have a lot of positive experience with you, over time, their relationship with you is going to sour, because they are going to, correctly might I add, look at you as somebody that they see when they mess something up. This is not a great recipe for great performance, a great culture, a great relationship with you and your team members. As a reminder, final thought here, if you've ever been an employee, I'm sure you understand, the reality is your boss is in most roles not with you most of the time. So most of the time, you are just doing your very best to do a good job, and no one's able to see all the small things you're doing right all day long. Now, of course, if you have a manager that is acknowledging you on a very regular basis and looking for the things that you were doing correctly, it's going to be all that easier when the manager notices something you maybe could have done a little bit better. So, small tip here for you here. I would give you one other very analytical way to do this that may or may not be useful, but you could quite literally keep a list for a week or a month even of all the members of your team, and I want you to track how many positive pieces of feedback you give them over a week or a month. Because if you're not finding that you have team members or a team member that you're virtually never saying anything positive, well, there are two things going wrong. Number one, either this person should not be on the team because truly you can't find them doing anything right. So that needs to be addressed. But more realistically, I don't think that's the case. More realistically, you just haven't really made that a commitment to really focus on what they're doing well. The things you look at change by the way you look at them. Your experience of your team is going to be drastically different if you are looking for the things they're doing well. So this is not something you've made it a personal practice. If you're finding yourself in those positions where sometimes as an owner or leader, you feel perhaps like, oh, I can't get good people to work with me. Oh, my team's they're really not showing up. Why are people I work with so troubling? I would like to invite you to get curious and ask, are you doing the best job you can as a leader to celebrate the many thankless acts they're doing every day to support you, to support your business, and to support the community of individuals that collectively you're looking to serve? All right, friends, I'm Mark Fisher, and if you're interested in creating more income, more impact, and more happiness with your training gym, you've come to the right place. Go ahead, subscribe, like, and share for more actionable tips, psychological frameworks, and philosophy.